Hi, and welcome to Middle Age Magic, the theme park planning and holiday blog with your host, Sharon.
And Sam. And today, in today's episode,
Episode 6.
episode 6 in June 2023, we are going to be trying to help you keep teens amused in Orlando theme parks.
Yeah, so pull up a chair, grab your favourite beverage and snack, and let's drag these teens through with their "It's so unfair, I'm bored" through the theme park. Should have left them at home.
This is why we leave them home. Right. So, how are you going to keep your teen amused when everything is boring and nothing's right and they're having a Kevin and Perry moment in the parks?
Oh, yeah.
We are going to try and help you.
Been there.
We've been there, we've done it.
Which is why we leave them at home now.
Yeah. Although they're now both out of that teen-ish. They're at that 13, 14-year-old age, thankfully. So, right, starting with the Disney parks. Now, Animal Kingdom is a difficult park with teens because they are going to be too cool to go and look at the animals. Although they do secretly enjoy it, trust me.
Yeah.
But Pandora is it's an attraction that's built for them. It's magical, it's sci-fi, so Pandora will be the thing to entice your teen into Animal Kingdom. Use it as leverage. You've got the two rides in Pandora, and that's Navi River Journey, which is obviously it's a small world but in Pandora. And a lot cooler.
That's not selling it properly. It's a small world, but in Pandora.
But it's a lot cooler.
It is a lot cooler.
It's a lot cooler. And obviously you've got Flight of Passage.
It just looks pretty, doesn't it?
It looks, especially at night, it looks amazing.
And there's all sorts of cool snacks and drinks
and exactly. Things. You've also got a lot of snacks and drinks in all the parks. So, and we know how teens love to eat.
Yeah.
So that is another thing to entice them in with, is the food. You've also got all the rides that we mentioned in our Thrill Rides video. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch it after this. And
why haven't you watched it? That was episode 5.
Yes. Why did you miss it? So if you do have the adrenaline junkie teen, you can obviously use that video along with this one to help keep your teen amused. But said drinks, snacks, and family rides that are cool, which is the main thing we're going to be doing. So Animal Kingdom,
Pandora will be your friend.
Pandora is the way to entice a teen into Animal Kingdom. I said along with the thrill rides. Dinosaur is a great one for teens. It's not a roller coaster, but it's got that scare factor that you will get a teen on. Into Hollywood Studios. Now, obviously, you've got Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which, if you've got a teen that loves Star Wars and sci-fi, that is the ultimate draw into...
a lot of teens like a bit of Toy Story as well, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, if they grew up watching Toy Story movies, it allows them to be a child, but cool. Yeah. It's what they remember. You've also got Star Tours in Hollywood Studios.
It's always a must-do.
Which is, it's been around forever, but it's so great. It's so good. And they are adding more scenes into Star Tours to cover the Mandalorian.
And other Star Wars related TV series.
Mandalorian.
I rolled my eyes then. If you didn't see that, if you're not watching us and you're listening to us, I did actually roll my eyes.
Sharon did the eye roll at me.
Yeah.
You've also got Toy Story Mania. Teens love to be competitive. I don't care who if they can beat mum or dad on a ride, then they get brownie points in the teen gang. So
that really did not sound very hip or cool.
I'm not hip or cool. I'm old. But yeah, Toy Story Mania is great for all ages. And I said, and if a teen can beat mum or dad on a ride, then
it's mega competitive. But you do need to have a strong arm, because it's not a gun for shooting. Why are you pulling that face? Because it's like firing.
Yes. If you've never been on Toy Story Mania, it is a carnival sideshow ride in 3D, and you have a shooter that has a piece of string
and a ball
on the back, and you have to pull the string rapidly to fire,
and you have to pull it really hard. By the time you get off the ride, I've got to have to be quite delicate the way that I described this here. But
why do you think I'm pulling this face?
You're going to have a very sore arm.
Yeah, very strong right arm is needed,
or left arm if you're
left-handed. Yes.
Yeah,
but very strong.
Yeah.
Moving on, the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's a fantastic show. Teens love it because they get to see, stunts. There's fire. There's
people shooting each other. Things blow up, don't they?
Yeah, and again, if they've grown up watching the Indiana Jones films, they get to see a little bit behind the scenes. But it's a great family show as well, so it can be enjoyed by all ages, but teens do tend to like it. Going on to Epcot. Now Epcot
is a bit of a weird one.
I mean, obviously you've got all the thrill rides that we mentioned in the previous video. You've also got soaring.
It took me a long time to go on soaring. Now it's one of my favorites.
Now it's not necessarily the actual ride, but it's the ride mechanism that tends to get teens enthralled in it, because of the way you load and you go up.
It's very immersive, isn't it? Is that the right word? Because you do feel like you are soaring, shockingly enough.
Yes. So teens do tend to enjoy soaring if you can get them on it. Living with the Land. Now this is an odd one. If you don't know the ride, it's a boat ride through all the greenhouses in Epcot, and it's educational, but it's also it's something I've never seen before.
It is very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. So if you've got a teen that likes in the environment,
activist teens,
they're
quite common these days, aren't they?
Then you can get them. I know my son loved going into the Japan shop because it's full of anime characters. It's got Pikachu, so I could lose him in the Japan shop for about an hour quite easily, because it's got all the weird Japanese crisps and sweets. And so if you've got a anime fan, then the Japan shop is where you're going to lose them. And
obviously,
again,
there's so much stuff to eat in
Epcot.
Again,
Epcot is one for snacks, so teenage boys just plonk them in Epcot to eat. And don't forget as well, you've got the festivals, which have their own special things to do. Obviously we will be out there for Festival of the Arts, and they've got the paint by number mural, and you've got the chalk paintings, and you've got the food trails round the food booths where you get a special prize at the end. Again, teens food, small portions, let them eat.
You make it sound as though our kids do nothing but stuff their faces.
They do.
I know.
I had two teenage boys. I know how much they eat. I mean, my youngest is like over 6 foot and still eats like he's got hollow legs.
But most of the country pavilions have got cool stuff that goes on. Mexico's just a really cool place.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico's full of like sugar skulls.
It's got a market inside.
Yeah, it's got a market inside
the pyramid. So there's all sorts of stuff.
You know, with teens liking the candy skulls, sugar skulls, plenty of them in Mexico. I know my eldest lad, when he was 19, enjoyed going around trying all the hats on. It kept him amused for an hour. It's like, every pavilion we went in, he's trying a different hat on. Yeah. There's photos of him with every single hat on. Wherever we went, he was trying the hats on.
It's amazing what keeps teenagers amused.
Yeah, so and if you're going as a family, they will find things to entertain themselves. Not necessarily what you want them to do, but they will find things to entertain themselves.
And it's surprising how, when you think that your teenager's not going to want to do something cool, well, what we think is cool, like meet characters or just have fun on some of the really ridiculous rides. It's like James always whinges when we go on It's a Small World.
Yeah.
But he sings the song the whole way around.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with us, It's a Small World has to be done at least once every visit.
Yeah.
And yeah, James was obviously too cool to go on It's a Small World, so he got dragged on. He wasn't given the option. It's like, no, you're coming with us. And yet he'll sit there and sing all the way around it. So yeah, don't be surprised what a teen will get up to in a Disney park. They'll probably hate you for it afterwards and beg you not to post any photos, but they're
going to do it anyway.
Yeah, they will meet characters, especially if they've got a younger brother or sister. I know the last time I went with James, he just begged me not to go and see princesses.
That's because I think the time when he was small, when he was not into princesses is the wrong word, but he really loved meeting all the different characters.
He did love meeting all the characters. Last time we went, I think he was about 16, 17, and he just begged me not to meet any princesses. So I was like, okay. But I took him to meet Jack Skellington, and he was in his element. So yeah.
Emily's a bit like that. She went through a phase when she was small, obviously, like most little girls do, when princesses were the in thing, and everything was a princess. But now she's like, Pluto's her favourite character, so whenever we go to a park, we have to meet Pluto.
Yeah, I mean, I can see a teenage boy quite happily meeting the Mandalorian.
I'd quite happily like to meet the Mandalorian, but
next year we are coming.
Because you might see behind me, if I move slightly, that I've got slight shrine to Boba Fett over there. Many Star Warsy things, but yeah, hey ho.
Yes. Go check out the May the 4th video.
Oh God, again.
Go check out the May the 4th video. The story of when Sharon met Chewbacca. Moving on.
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom. She does hate me for that, but I don't care.
It's all right, I'm going to get my revenge.
Oh dear. Yeah, moving on to the Magic Kingdom. We've got a Haunted Mansion. And obviously we've got the new film being released soon of the Haunted Mansion. So that will bring it to the forefront. One of the classic OG rides.
It is very cool though,
It's very cool. And if you can let a teen watch the documentary on how the effects work in the Magic Kingdom, how the effects work in the Haunted Mansion, it'll give them the background to it, and they'll be amazed by the fact of it's very simple magic tricks that are used to give that effect. So get your teens involved in the little backstage bits, and it makes them think they've got one up on everyone else, which all teens love. But two, it gives them a little bit of a incentive to go on some of the rides. So there's a documentary about the Haunted Mansion. There's one on Pirates of the Caribbean. So yeah,
there's even one on the Tiki Room, but they won't want to.
They won't want to go to the Tiki Room. I didn't even drag James into that. Yeah. So but yeah, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean. Let them see the backstories and see the history of it, and it might get them more involved in it. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Now, obviously, Monsters Inc. again is another series of films that most teens would have grown up with. And some of the jokes can be a bit grown up, but without being overly grown up. So the teens will get them, but their little brothers and sisters won't. So
it is hilarious,
but it is really funny. Yeah, it is really comical. Jungle Cruise, again with the recent film, it will be one, and they're dad jokes,
Oh
you
God.
know. So teens will grown, but they are dad jokes. With the recent film, you know, teens now know the story, the backstory of the
Of the
Jungle
Jungle
Cruise,
Cruise.
and it's a classic one again.
Mm.
So you know, always good. Pirates Adventure. Now this is a interactive treasure hunt. You go get a map, and they have clues to solve around the Pirates of the Caribbean area.
You need your magic band to
Dink it.
that was a dink it.
Dink you.
Yeah.
So yeah. So again, it's something that, you know, they can do with, if they've got younger brothers or sisters with them, they can take them along, but they can be in charge, which obviously all teens like being in charge of everything.
You're speaking from experience.
Oh
aren't you?
yes, yeah. Two teenage boys later, I'm speaking from experience. So yeah, so said go and watch the thrill ride videos, because if you've got thrill seeker teens, you know, you've got all them rides they can go on, and family rides, which you may get a bit of a moan, but you know, once they've had a go on a thrill ride, you can go, okay, you know, let's compromise. So, and again, bribe them with food.
And how did that work, the compromising?
Yeah, and again, bribe them with food.
Bribing him with food always works.
Yeah, bribe with food, and if all else fails, just go shut up and get on the ride.
Oh.
I've paid all this money to bring you out here. You get on the ride.
But they're still going to go, oh, it's so unfair.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, stay at home then.
Yes, and then we get the Kevin and Perry moments. Over to Universal. Now, Universal is obviously more of a teen haven.
Definitely, I would say.
Yeah, obviously all the thrill rides in both parks. In Islands of Adventure, they have 3 water rides, basically next door to each other, so they can go from one. And teens don't care about getting wet.
I do.
Yeah, and you do get wet, very, very,
Very
wet. As in, I've got out of the shower drier than I've gotten off these rides.
I really like the fact that we usually go in February or January, and most
They're
of them are
closed.
closed. Yeah. As much as I'd love to do them,
yeah,
not at that time of year.
Obviously, you've got the whole Jurassic Park area in Islands of Adventure. So as well as Velocicoaster, you've also got the Jurassic Park River Adventure. Basically a boat ride with a big drop.
It's a lovely little gentle boat ride. Oh,
With a big drop.
With a big drop.
Where you get wet.
It's not a massive drop, but it's a very wet drop, isn't it?
It's a very wet drop. A very big boat. Very big wave. Very wet. You then, next to it,
I'm not sure you've emphasised how wet you get on
oh,
it.
you get wet. You've then got Dudley Do Right's Ripsaw Falls. All I can say is no poncho will save you. None. I
put a spare pair of pants in a Ziploc bag. You're gonna need them.
Yeah. A full change of clothes. I said I got off of that wetter than I've ever got out of a shower. So, but teens love it. So, and next door to that, you've got the bilge rat barges. Not only obviously is it a rapids type,
it's a spinny rapidy type ride.
They also have water cannons that people can pay to fire at you. So again, you will get wet, very wet. No poncho will save you. I don't care how good a poncho is. It's not going to stop you getting wet on that. I think Molly from Mammoth Club has the right idea, and she still gets wet. She has a raincoat, a baseball cap on, and she still gets wet. So even if you soak the top half, the bottom half's getting soaked. So.
Your feet get wet, especially in the bilge rats. Your feet get wet because the water comes in.
Yeah, and obviously where everyone's been on it before and got wet, your bum's gonna be wet as well. Which if you're in jeans is quite uncomfortable. Wet denim, not good. Moving on. So 3 water rides, very wet. You've then got Kong Skull Island, which again, King Kong, you know, most teenagers have seen the films nowadays.
Yeah, especially the new remake, or not
Especially-
the remake, the reboot.
Yeah, the
from-
reboot of Kong. So
with Loki in it.
yes. Then you've got
Oh,
them.
and Captain Marvel, she was in it too.
You've then got the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Again, most boys love Spider-Man. Doesn't matter how old they are. You know,
I think they can identify with Peter Parker, can't they?
yeah, teenage boy.
And teenage girls love him because they think he's cute.
Yes, he is cute actually. But at my age, it's more the mothering side.
Oh,
of
good. I'm
Peter
glad you.
Parker.
I'm glad you.
Glad I specified
clarified
that.
that.
Yeah, so Spider-Man, 3D,
In a little car.
in a little car, and said most teenagers love Spider-Man in one form, shape, or another. And again, all the thrill rides that we've mentioned in the previous video.
Which there are quite a lot, aren't there?
There's quite a lot, and the whole Harry Potter section. Even if you didn't do rides,
that's enough to immerse your
it's
team.
enough. Yeah, you know, you've got all the shops. You've got in Island Adventure, you've got the 3 broomsticks. And it's just so immersive that you'll be hard pushed to actually drag a teen out of there. So moving over into Universal Studios, you've got the Men in Black ride, which is like Buzz Lightyear's
on steroids. You described it as earlier.
yeah, Buzz Lightyear's Space Rangers shooting thing on yeah, it's like on steroids. If I haven't seen the Men in Black films,
where have they been?
Yeah, why haven't you shown them the Men in Black films? You are fighting aliens, and at some point you have to press the red button.
Oh,
yes,
I've not done this ride yet. I'm looking forward to it.
What,
the red button that you're not allowed to press the red
that's
button?
the one. The
Ooh.
don't touch the red button, but
Cool.
you have to push it. And yeah, it spins. Whee! You then got the Simpsons ride, which is a simulator ride, but I mean, we all know the Simpsons are very tongue-in-cheek, and they do take the mickey out of the Disney parks in the ride. So, and Simpsons area, I mean, you know, you've got the Duff beer bit. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying give teenagers Duff beer. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying give alcohol to teenagers. I'm not. But obviously, they've grown up with the Simpsons, and so the whole area theme to the Simpsons is like
the
there.
big boy donut.
The lard boy donuts.
Lard boy donuts.
The big pink one. And then you got the Transformers ride, which most kids have grown up with Transformers, either in form of cartoons or the new movies.
They're not new movies anymore, are they? They're old movies now. But yeah, movies.
Ish.
They're like 20 years old.
Shh. I found out the other day was 35 years old and I almost died. I can't remember now, but it was something come up with like 35 years old.
Well, Return of the Jedi is 40.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Don't mention things like that. So yeah, again with Universal Studios, you've got all the thrill rides, and then you've got Men in Black, Simpsons, and Transformers, which could entertain your teens. You've also got the Blues Brothers show, which even if they don't know who the Blues Brothers are, the music will get them going.
They've also got the Sing show as well, which happens around that area, which is like poppy.
Yeah. And if you obviously depending on the time of year you're going out as well, if you're going out at the beginning of the year, like February to May-ish, no, February to April, you've got Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Halloween. If you're going out for Halloween, most teenagers like to scare themselves to death. So you've got Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, not my bag.
Not me either. So, and obviously they've got their scare zones, and they're based around horror films, which teenagers love to watch. I don't know why. But yeah, so if you plan your trips around festivals or around holidays, then you'll have more for your teen to do. Again, umpteen amounts of food, especially if you're out there for Mardi Gras or Halloween Horror Nights or Christmas. They have food booths, so they can snack their way around the park quite happily. Where are we going next? SeaWorld. SeaWorld, unfortunately,
unless you're a thrill seeker.
Unless you're a thrill seeker.
We like, what did we decide to call them? Sea animals.
Sea animals.
Couldn't decide whether they were
fish.
No, because they're mammals.
But they're mammals.
And there's birds.
And there's birds.
They're sea animals.
They're sea animals. SeaWorld with teens, unless they are thrill seekers and will do, the thrill rides.
Or like sea animals.
Then it's severely lacking, unfortunately. I mean, my teens would have gone on all the big rides quite happily twice, sometimes 3 times in a row. I know some teens don't. So with SeaWorld, I think you've really got to look at it as to what your teen's interested in. I said Universal Studios got the thrill rides, but then you've also got the two Harry Potter bits which can keep teens amused for hours on end. But yeah, teens, bribe them with food. That's all I can say. Bribe them with food. If they do have younger siblings, encourage them to go on rides with them.
And some teens don't want to do anything. So if they're old enough, you can ship them off to one of the water parks for the day.
Yes. I mean, the water parks.
How many are there? 4?
There's 4. No, 3. 4.
We've got 2 Disney ones, a Universal one, and a SeaWorld one.
Is there a
Aquatica?
Yes.
Yes, there is a SeaWorld one.
Yep, so obviously you've got Aquatica, Typhoon Lagoon,
Blizzard Beach,
and Volcano Bay. So yeah, if
depending on the time of year, obviously, because
some days in like December, January, February may not be warm enough for water parks. I know I did Aquatica many years ago, and said I was out there with teens, and they loved it. So me not so much. I just spent the day in the cabana laying on sunbed.
But I suppose if you want to, if you're there for 2 weeks and you want a no park day, you can spend a day at a water park where your teens, which will be a good compromise for teens, because they love throwing themselves down chutes. So when we're talking about them like they're a different species, they love.
Teens are a different species.
They either love throwing themselves down a ridiculously long chute into this like a ploppy of water, or they'll go and ride a spinny water raft thing, or they'll just lounge around doing nothing, which they're best at.
Yes. But you've also got stuff to do on City Walk. You've got the escape rooms just opened on City Walk. You've also got escape rooms on International Drive. You've got mini golf both at Universal and at Disney. And teens seem to love mini golf.
I love the mini golf.
But I love mini. You're dangerous.
I know. I'm very dangerous at mini golf. I get a bit carried away.
Don't let her do it. Dangerous. So yeah, there's still things outside of the parks for teens to do as well.
Oh, there's loads of stuff up International Drive. Even if they just want to go, I'm going to say window shopping, but like shopping around the tat shops, as we love to call them.
Tat shops, lovely.
There's loads of places for teens to go and veg and look and do nothing, which is what they're best at, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, teens can be part of the holiday quite successfully. May take a bit of blackmail, bit of bribery,
bit of food,
a lot of food. Popcorn buckets, just getting unlimited popcorn. Just keep feeding popcorn, churros and corn dogs. That's what I found: popcorn, churros, corn dogs. But yeah, just let them enjoy themselves. It's their holiday as well. Listen to them and encourage as much as you can. And if all else fails, bribery.
Or leave them at home.
Blackmail. Leave them at home.
Yeah.
And enjoy your holiday without your team. No, bring them with you. They will enjoy it.
Yeah. They just might not realise that they're going to enjoy it to start with. It's almost as though I've found that when I've taken Emily places, when she's got older that it's like, why are we doing this? And then once she like realizes how much fun it is, it's almost like that all that whinging was forgotten about.
But then don't bring it up that they actually enjoy themselves afterwards, because they will deny it.
Yeah. And don't let them see you taking any photos.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, that's your teens. Again, nice quick one. But do go back, watch the Thrill Rides video, because that will give you more to do with your teen. So if you've liked this video, please click the subscribe button, click the notification bell.
That's what Mara was grinning for. Love my bell.
She was waiting for it. Click the notification bell to let.
Oh, you said it again. Sorry.
And that will let you know when we post a new video. And please click the like button, because it helps us with YouTube.
I need a click now for when you say click the like button.
We're going to be getting more sound effects. I can see this. So that's it from us on where are we? Episode.
On episode 6.
Episode 6. Yes, that's it from us on episode 6 of How to Holiday with Your Teen. Look forward to seeing you all soon.
Bye. For now.